Hi guys, welcome back to Haste Kitchen. Today is going to be literally a 45-minute video for a 45-minute meal. It is the simplest recipe. If you can't cook this, you shouldn't be cooking at all. It's chili con carne. It's my brother's favourite, and since I'm in his beautiful home again, I thought I'd better cook it for him for when he gets back from work with his wife and kids. Now, slight difference with my chili con carne. I'm going to use 80% dark chocolate. It thickens the sauce and gives it a lovely bit of flavour. Also going to be using sirloin steak, chopped up very finely instead of minced beef. I prefer it. It's a nicer texture for me. Vegetarians out there, swap it for mushroom. It'll be just as tasty. Now, the last twist is, instead of rice, you can use avocado. I'm going to be using quinoa. So let's get cooking. We've got some pepper, salt, garlic, chili flakes, chili powder, cumin, some plain yogurt, red onion, tin of chopped tomatoes, 3 mixed peppers, lemon, 80 to 90% dark chocolate, tomato puree, tomato paste, some vegetable or beef stock, red wine. We've got some smoked paprika, you can use normal paprika, a couple of chillies, cherry tomatoes, kidney beans. Right, so first up, we're just going to take off the fatty edge of your steak. Make sure you've got a good sharp knife. Cut that into very, very thin strips, like that. And you're just going to muddle them up together and then just chop down. Now, by all means, just use minced steak if you want to, if you don't want to fuss about it. You can use any of these steaks, sirloin. Try and get something like skirt, sirloin, rump steak. Use fillet if you really want, if you've got a bit of money, but it's a bit expensive. Best thing about this is, it's not going to give it that sort of mincy, sort of fatty taste that you often get, which I don't particularly like, which is why I prefer using the steak sort of meat. Right, trim that down, fat off, and when I do say this is going to be a simple meal, we're literally going to chuck all of this in one pan and we're going to just leave it to simmer away. The good thing about chilli is the longer you leave it, if you go over the sort of hour mark and leave it to cool and then heat it back up the next day, the flavours are just insane. It always seems to get a little bit stronger. Right, so that's your steak mince. Get your pan on, nice and hot. Put all your steak in and fry that off, nice and hot. Clean your board down, grab your onions, your peppers. The meat's now frying away. You want to add your onions. I'm just going to chop up 1/2 an onion. It can be as roughly chopped as you want, because that's just going to melt down to pretty much nothing. Likewise, do exactly the same with the pepper. Half your tomatoes. Right, so your steak is pretty much all cooked. This is the whole beauty about this meal, is that you can just literally just chuck everything in together. So what I'm going to do is chuck my garlic clove in. Strip that off. I'm going to add 2 garlic cloves for this because you want it to be quite strong. Second garlic clove in. Trim that off. I'm going to add my beef stock, or whatever one you want to use. So if you're using the vegetarian option, just use vegetables. All your kidney beans. Now I can understand this doesn't look particularly nice at the moment because we're just adding all the ingredients, but it will be so flavoursome. And all your onion, all your peppers, and all your tomatoes. Everything can go in as once. Like that. With your chillies, just cut them in half and leave them in whole. And then you're going to add a large tablespoon of tomato puree, a good pinch of pepper, a good pinch of salt, just for your seasoning. Now you've got chili powder. I'm going to use about a teaspoon of this, but I'm going to test it again in about half an hour just to see how strong it's going to be. You don't really want to be burning your tongue off within the first 5 minutes. Now just smoked paprika, 1 teaspoon, tin of chopped tomatoes, some chili flakes just to add for a little bit of extra heat. Up to you if you want to use those or not. Your red wine. Grab your cumin powder. Now I'm using about 3 or 4 teaspoons there, but I generally taste it as I go along and add it as I go along just to make sure it's not too strong a flavour. And then we're going to add the chocolate as well. People think it sounds crazy that I'm adding dark chocolate, but you'll appreciate the flavour once you get it onto the stove. Right, back up to heat. Turn your cold tap on and thoroughly wash the quinoa because it's usually covered in lots of bits of grit. Right, for the quinoa, grab your pan, get some butter and just layer that across the bottom of the pan. It's just going to help to stop it sticking. Add your quinoa and then add enough water just to cover it. Top up with water. Right, it's been cooking for a while, so let's check the chilli and make sure the sauce is thickened. If it's too thick, you can always just add a little bit of water. Now check on your quinoa and just make sure that's fluffed up completely. Now we're ready to serve. Right, how simple was that? All finished. So let's serve up. We've got to get some quinoa first of all. Just plonk that on the side of your bowl. This doesn't have to look too amazing or pretty because it's just a quick, easy dinner. It's up to you if you want to put a lemon on it, but I usually put a little bit of lemon on my rice or quinoa. Big scoop of chilli. How good does that look? It smells amazing. You can really smell the dark chocolate in there as well. Good bit of chilli. And I usually finish it up with a nice handful of spinach down the side. And just to cool off your palate as well, just a little bit of Greek yogurt. How good's that? Thanks guys for watching. I'm going to leave this for my brother now because he's going to be home in about an hour's time and that should just be perfect for him. The good thing about this thing is if you're a student or somebody who wants to cook and eat throughout the week, that can be just left in your fridge and you can eat that for 4 or 5 days on the trot if you need to. The flavours will get more intense, so beware, it will get slightly hotter the longer you leave it. But cheers guys, thanks for watching, see you later, bye bye.